On today's episode of the Comics Panel, we're going to be talking to John of Hooked on Comics. Okay, and we're back, and we're in front of a live studio audience. I wanted to say that. To my left, we have John. He is the owner of Hooked on Comics. He's joining us today. And the person to my right, as you know him, he is Steve.
Hi.
So, John, you have a shop in Myerstown,
Correct.
Pennsylvania, called Hooked on Comics. How long have you been there?
Go ahead.
And where is it located at in Myerstown?
We've been there just shy of a year now. We're located at 450 West Lincoln Avenue in Myerstown.
Okay. And that's right next to the Pinky's shop in the mall. So if you're familiar with the area, it's a landmark you'll be able to know. We've been frequenting your shop here off and on, and as there's something unique about your store that not always other comic book stores have, and you guys are involved in gaming. Do you want to talk a little bit about your gaming aspect of the comic book store?
Sure. We do Magic tournaments in the back. We also do they play what they call 40K. It's a miniature type of game. And there's also a miniature type of game that they do, and it's called Infinity. So Magic's usually Fridays and Saturdays. We also do 40K on Saturdays, and they do that also Sundays with Infinity. The back room's open all the time. We're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesdays through Sunday, though, pretty much from noon till 9 when we close, anybody can come in and play in the back room.
Awesome. You have a question you'd like to ask him?
How long have you been into comics, John?
Oh, well, I got my first comic book mailed to me back in 1978, I believe it was.
What was the
And
title?
it was Star Wars. Star Wars. You had. I can't remember. I think I was like 8. I went to see Star Wars, and then the movie inspired me to get the comic book. I got the comic books mailed to us, and it was always funny because you could clip out the little tag in the back and mail it off and get your next year's subscription for $1.38. So
Yeah.
that was always it was always pretty neat.
It was pretty cool getting a comic back then because, unlike today, you didn't have streaming or even VHS. You had the movie. You had to go see the movie as many times as you could until it came out of the theater, and then you were left with nothing.
And then you read that comic book, and then you had to wait for a whole month for the next one to come out, and you just couldn't wait because you were just so excited.
Do you remember back in that day when Lucas said he was never going to have Star Wars play? When we were kids, like, you could, because you're maybe a year or two younger than me. When we were kids, you saw a movie in the theater, and then you had to wait maybe a year or two, and it would be on because you got ABC, CBS, and NBC and PBS, and you had to wait for one of them to show it on their Saturday night or Sunday night movie or whatever. And Lucas was like, "No, it's never going to show on one of those." And so then we had the Christmas special. Do you remember the Christmas special? That was fantastic.
I do remember. I do remember Lucas
sarcasm.
always saying that he was never going to make 1 and 2 and 3, which is why he jumped to 4, 5, and 6. And of course, we know now that he did.
Yeah.
But now that the cinematics are so much better than what he had back then.
And
But the
they
books
showed
were. The books kept you going back.
Absolutely.
Aside from the Christmas. Did you ever see the Christmas special?
Oh, man, I'm sure I did. But
Well,
it
see,
couldn't have been
that's
too
the
good
kind
if
of
I didn't
lasting
remember
impression
it.
it left on everyone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Didn't remember.
Yeah.
And now it's showed on TBS and TNN, every
Yeah.
Christmas, back and forth. What other comics do you like to enjoy reading?
Well, I used to be a huge Spider-Man fan. That definitely was one of my favorites. Not so much modern day Spider-Man. I'm more the old school.
They lost me at Brand New Day, and I never went back to Spider-Man. So I'm not I like the character. I just don't like what they're doing with it. So.
I agree. The new Spider-Man's not very good.
What inspired you to open a shop?
Well, Mary had a lot to do with that too. I mean,
Mary
'cause-
being
my wife. We used to do strictly cards, and then it just seemed like, we had all these comic books upstairs, and it just kind of fell into place. What do we do with all these comic books? Well, we have so many. Why not open up a store? So it kind of gave us the nudge to go ahead and open up the store. So we're having quite fun doing it, and it's always interesting to see who brings in what and what you get to sell.
Best
There-
of both worlds.
there's some people that end up being there far too long than they should be, than bugging you. Not that I know that from personal experience or anything.
It's okay. It's all right. We like when people hang out and we can chit chat because I talk quite a bit. So
You?
yeah, I do. I know, crazy.
I never would have imagined.
As we always talk about, like every store is different, but you should really come out and check out their store. They have a kids corner for the kids to draw. So if you have children, they can color in their, and while you go looking at your comic books, they got all kinds of novelty items. John's wife makes these shadow boxes, which are really incredible. And
shadow
when you go down there, you
Should've
should
brought
definitely
one.
check them out.
Yeah, I should have brought one with. You could have seen
Yeah.
it, but she does a very good job. She
We'll get some pictures and drop it in.
I will have to do that because they're really nice and we've sold so many of them. I'm just surprised that they do so well, but they are so nice.
I know I was taken aback the first time I saw them. I thought they were very cool.
Yeah, definitely everybody should stop out and check out the shadow boxes for sure while you pick up your subscription.
And you also have subscription services as well.
Correct.
And you're also online with, I think, through Amazon as well.
We do sell on Amazon. Our subscription service is pretty cool.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, if you don't mind. It's free to subscribe. If you get 10 or more titles, and we offer 10% off of the whole store. So you get 10 or more titles, anything you want in the store, it automatically becomes 10% off.
10% off the Superman Lois Lane statuette that I see there.
Everything. Everything. If you get 10 titles, everything, whether it be back issues, new issues, all that good stuff.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm thinking of what other issues I need to subscribe to.
Anything else you want to add for your store?
Just come down and check us out. I mean, I really think you'll enjoy the atmosphere. We have a really good atmosphere. It's a well lit store. It's not dark and dingy like some.
Do you do mail order?
We would if somebody is far away. We don't have a problem as long as they pay for the shipping. However, if you order 10 titles or more, probably something we would do on the
Really?
mailing aspect.
That's very
So,
cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
So if you're driving by the area and you're in Myerstown, make sure you stop by Hooked on Comics. Say hi to John and his wife Mary, and tell them the Comics Panel sent you.
They might even give you 10% off.
Yeah, you come in and say the comics panel sent you, and we'll give you 10% off.
10% off anything?
Anything.
Anything.
Complete
It's a
purchase.
one-time visit. You can't
One
keep coming
time.
by and saying you saw us on the Comics Panel. So remember, like us on Facebook,
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
and we'll see you next week.